Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name's Greg Bourne and today I'm taking a look at one aspect of the 1940 Battle of France, the German drive towards Gembloux. The German plan was very simple. They were going to take the Allies by surprise by making their main effort in the south, through the Belgian Ardennes. This was where most of their panzer divisions were deployed. They were also going to drive into central Belgium, but this was just a distraction. There were no panzer divisions supporting the advance against the Belgian and British armies. The advance from Maastricht towards Gembloux was a bit more complicated. Yes, it was part of the distraction. But there were also two panzer divisions, the 3rd and 4th Panzer Divisions, driving towards Gembloux. And when the Germans used panzer divisions, they expected to break through. Now, the French had good reason to be worried about this. They were not entirely fooled by the German plan. The French reconnaissance planes were tracking the movements of the German forces through the Ardennes, and they were calling in RAF bombers to attack these columns. But the advance towards Gembloux was also worrying, particularly because there was no natural barrier to stop the German advance. The French dispatched two armoured divisions, the 2nd and 3rd DLM, to try and stop the German drive. These encountered the German forces on May the 12th, and between the 12th of May and the 14th of May, there was a tank battle near Gembloux. Losses on both sides were heavy, and tactically it was a draw. But strategically, it was a French victory because they had succeeded in stopping the German advance. Did that make any difference? After all, the French line further south had collapsed completely. Well, it might have done. If the Germans had broken through at Gembloux, it would have been game, set and match to the German army. There would have been no way for the Allied armies trapped in the north to fight their way south. But because the German advance had been held at Gembloux, the breach in the Allied lines was not as wide as it might have been. The situation was still serious, very serious. But by the time the Germans reached the Arras region, there was only 35 miles separating the armies trapped in the north and the French armies moving up towards the Somme. There was still half a chance for the Allies to redeem the situation. The Germans had already advanced 150 miles. Some Luftwaffe units had managed to move forward, but most of them were still based back in Germany. And air support for the German army was not as comprehensive as it had been. There was an opportunity for the Allies, half a chance. And indeed, there were a couple of counterattacks that attempted to strike south. The British attacked from the Arras region, and the French drove south towards Cambrai. Neither of these attacks were successful, and one of the reasons why they weren't successful was that the Allies didn't have any air support. If there had been more air support for these counterattacks, things might have been different. Now, if you want to find out more about why the British didn't have adequate air support at Arras, then have a look at my book, The RAF in the Battle of France and the Battle of Britain. And for more on why the French Air Force weren't able to support the French drive towards Cambrai, then take a look at the rise and fall of the French Air Force. Thanks for listening.